It's Independence Day, number 245. Will we make it to 246? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, July the 4th, and happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Yes, I know the holiday is tomorrow, but let me wish everybody a happy 4th today. And of course, we talk about our freedom, but we'll talk more about that when we get to our commentary at the end of the show. In the meantime, we've got a market that is run amok. It continues to fly to the sky, and we can't listen. We're not trying to control it. We are actually benefiting from it, but we all know that there are many issues that are involved. And of course, I think one of the big issues that we could look at is we are running out of money. Okay, now when I say, obviously, the Federal Reserve has the ability to print as much money as they want, but of course we understand that printing, or that creation, which really, because we don't really print anymore, but the creation of money is at great cost to Americans as well as the stimulus programs that we have. And of course, we've mentioned this, over the last, few episodes, the socialism versus capitalism. And again, we have another story of just that, where Blackstone, who we actually talked about last week, has just taken over the Aria and a couple of the other hotels in Las Vegas, adding on to their overall dominance of real estate and casino holdings and all kinds of things. And of course, the average guy can't do that. And because of the prevention of the average guy having the opportunity to practice capitalism and get to that point, we can see that, of course, that has not been the case. And unfortunately, we do have, some bad habits here to be very happy with the status quo. But I remind you to go back 245 years and remember what the people fought for, which was freedom. And if you don't think that your freedom is not being slowly disintegrated throughout, you are making a very big mistake. Okay, by being the amount of information they can gather on you, to the control they can exercise over you. And again, the perfect example of in recent history is just the pandemic. Look at how they picked and chose the businesses that should be able to be in business. Okay, it wasn't your choice. It was a choice made by your governments. Okay, so again, I warn you. Okay, and again, I am not, I'm not telling you the end of the world is coming. I'm not telling you that it's not going to be okay. I'm just putting out the very simple process of thought that there are many issues out there, and the way that we're going out of business. And again, I'm not just blaming the Biden administration or the new administration. A lot of this has been going on for many years, and because we don't, because Americans don't fight anymore for their freedom and are very happy in certain aspects, we tend to let things slide by. So again, it's just something to think about, okay? Because look at how much we've just become dependent on interest rates by the Fed. You look at the markets, the way the markets act. So again, it's a bad situation, and you've got 72 million Americans that live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, and how many more do you have sitting at home trying to live off the stimulus package, which should not be a part of it? Again, I'm all for helping everybody. All right. I am all for helping those who truly need it, but I am not for helping able-bodied Americans or able-bodied citizens that can go to work. Okay. So, I think that you have issues, and I think when does a rate hike that's going to be maybe years from now, a couple of years. Now, again, I think it's going to be sooner, just in full disclosure. But based on, the information that we have from the Federal Reserve, why would a rate hike 2 years from now have any effect on today's markets? And of course, it doesn't. But, really what you've seen, and you can take this for what it's worth, but you've seen the Fed shift from a no inflation to it's now transitory and it's now temporary. So what you are seeing is a rotation from the Federal Reserve that is simply telling you, they're trying to warn everybody and maybe try to take the shock out of the markets when it does indeed come by. But, look, I think that they're dead wrong about inflation. As I believe that we're well over 10% in inflation. And I think if you look at your monthly bills, you might tend to agree with me. But again, I think that we have a problem that, we become too spoiled and too concerned only about our individual lives and not the effect of the freedoms that are happening to everybody. And I think that's, when you look around at some of the hatred and divisiveness that has been created by this administration. I mean, even before, if you remember the offer to bail out the people that were causing and rioting. So look, I don't have the answer. I know there's certain things that we should be doing, but I don't have the exact answer. But of course, we finally had a job increase, and it's amazing how you go from minus 18,000 to plus 850,000. And you have to ask yourself, how bad does the government actually know how to count? Okay. How can we now, we have, this time of year, you have teachers going back to work, going back on the payroll or on the roll, so there's a lot of things happening. But, the number will be adjusted. Last month was adjusted up. This month was adjusted down, will be adjusted down possibly. Look, what are you going to tell? I mean, it'd be nice if the government could count. It'd be nice not to have so many adjustments on each and every report. Okay. But I think there's something very serious happening. And I think we saw a little taste of it in the general election last November. But I think you're seeing New York, they had the clear winner was Adams, who is the ex-police chief. Okay. And all of a sudden, his lead, which was a dominant performance, has been dissipating, and they're still counting absentee ballots. Now, where's the absentee? If you're well enough to go out and spend your stimulus check, you're well enough to go out and vote. I don't see why, the country is open. Why didn't they how can you have absentee ballots for, that kind of quantity? Not that many people go to Florida for the winter. You have to ask yourself, is there some funny business going on in New York? And of course, the answer is yes, because we've said this before. There has been funny stuff going on in elections for as long as I know, as long as I'm alive. But it's getting worse. And it is really being dominated by the left. Okay. And look, I am not left nor right. I am center. But, I guess maybe they're becoming better at cheating. I mean, it is because certainly New York is as left as it gets. And the candidate is left, but he is a law and order candidate, which is not a defund the police set. So, I think that you have to understand, what is going on and why it's happening. And, somebody with law and order might create more of an issue. Okay. And, look, as we start to approach, it looks like we'll end the year at about a $3 trillion deficit. Now, I ask you, why is it that the government doesn't have to keep a real budget? Why is it that they can create and print and spend as much as they want? And I understand that they're the leaders, but aren't we the power of the people? These are the things I think that have been lost over the years. And I'm going back obviously to the beginning, but how did Washington, how did the politicians get so much power when the structure is supposed to be and is written city, county, state, and the federal was to oversee? And of course, now the federal is massive. Okay. So, but a $3 trillion, do you ever think we're going to ever be able to get out of this $3 trillion debt with these imbeciles? And this goes from all politicians. All right. But you are seeing, as they're phrasing it, okay, a shit show with Kamala Harris. And it looks like there's some bad blood going on between the administration and Harris and between everybody else and Harris. And I think what we're really seeing is what I thought was the plan initially is, at the time, before there was any funny business, I thought that the Biden-Harris ticket was a throwaway, very much like the McCain-Palin ticket back in 2008. They knew they couldn't win, so they were throwing up two people that would never win anyways. And of course, I think that's what happened. But look, I think you've got issues which are always part of it. Okay, and you've got a extreme left administration, and we've got Biden's crimes against the United States. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the way that he's handling the money and the government and the budgets and all these things. It's like, really, we don't have that. And the minute you took out the fracking and gave up all control of energy back to the criminals from OPEC, okay, you went back to China and kissed their ass. Right? And you think that either one of those things are really good for America? And do you think that that oil is going to be stopped using? I see where Canada said that by 2035, you won't be able to buy a gas-powered vehicle. And I will say, let's hope that's the case. But why would you give up control of a major resource that you do have where you don't have to give up that type of control? Okay. So in the meantime, I think that, we have to be thankful to be in America. It is our 245th anniversary, but there are things that are slipping away. But in the meantime, happy Independence Day. It is always great to be with you. And if it wasn't for our independence, I wouldn't be able to do shows like this. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horwitz. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with more after the break. Well, kids, as always, it's great to be here, especially with this on our Independence Day. And of course, we have a couple of brokers that we recommend. Now, we do have many other brokers, so it's not that these are my only brokers. These are the ones that I think fit my programs and my members the best. And for commodities and futures, it's the CTG Group or Capital Trading Group. And of course, there's very simple reasons. They've got great customer service. They help you set up. They execute on time all the time. And they've got some great managed futures products. In fact, as I think so highly of them, they handle all of my managed futures that I do for my members, I do for myself through the CTG Group. So I think they're just a great group. And, with their managed futures products. But if you've got questions, you can reach out to them direct. info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And for equities and options, there is nothing like Tradier. It's $10 a month. Think about that. Think about how much money you would save. $10 a month. I mean, I say 5 figures. Okay, $10, and of course you get great customer service, and plus we've got their APIs, which allows us the opportunity to automate your equity portfolio that you trade through us. You don't have to. You can trade wherever you want. You don't have to. You can use the software as part of your membership, but the auto execution comes with it for free if you choose and would like to use it. And there's a fee for the hedging because the hedging is a class, not a membership. But either way, it's $10 a month. So think about that for a trade here. Now again, we have other brokers. I tell you that all the time, because I want to make it clear that I'm not telling you that you can trade anywhere you want. We're trying to put other brokers online as well, but we don't want you to be, pressured to go to one or the other. I mean, that's what we have available today. And of course, our great partnership with Family Farms. Look, they're a great organization that has the same interests that we do, which is to help the American farmer. And we want to make things better by helping them manage their capital and our commodity report. And if you saw these quarterlies written by Andy Heck, Technomental, the man is 40 years trading commodities, physical, futures across the board, ran the big funds, traded them. If you're a commodities trader, you're not reading Technomental, you should go see a doctor. And of course, the high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and our market report. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line on Sunday, July the 4th. Happy July 4th. And it's great to be free, and it's great to be an American. And, we got issues, but it's still the best place to be. And happy birthday, America. And thanks to all those who made it possible. In the meantime, the markets know no bounds. Okay. And our market segment is brought to you by our friends at Trader Brokerage. And the reason we talk about Trader, we have other brokers, but it's $10 a month brokerage fee. They've got great customer service. They take care of you, and you're saving a fortune. Plus the fact that we have their APIs, which allows us, if you choose, to automate the trading of our portfolio models. Okay, and that is at no charge. That's part of your membership already. If you're a hedger, then you can certainly, there's a small fee for hedging, for the use of the software because it's a class. But either way, it's going to save you tons of money and time, but that's up to you. Again, we want you to do what you want to do and what you feel comfortable with. So anyways, the markets continue to go to Pluto. All right. I mean, obviously we've seen some very much diverging markets this week. However, when you look at it, what have you seen? You've seen the Dow continue to charge higher. It's just going to reverse. We were short the Dow in most of the week, as you may or may not know, but we will be reversing it tonight, between tonight and Tuesday, because the markets they're open tomorrow electronically, but we'll consider them closed for most. But the S&P, Russell, and NASDAQ, we've been long all the way through. And the NASDAQ and the S&P continue to make new highs. The Russell and the Dow are probably not far behind. But that's what trend trading is, and mechanical trading is you don't argue with what the rules are, you just trade. So, and then of course the metals, they were kind of flat. They're kind of stuck. Silver and gold are stuck in this consolidation range, which we're short. And they didn't do much last week, and they've been very annoying. And I really thought that on Friday's jobs report, they might break out to the downside, because that's where I think they're going. That's where they look to be right now. But I didn't see that, but I didn't see them go up either. It's like they don't have enough oomph to go up, and they can't get down, which means we're purely in consolidation, which is a very confusing time for markets. And, that's what they call it, the greatest time of uncertainty. In the meantime, we're still short, and we would be short platinum now as well. But we don't trade anymore because it's not liquid. And crude oil, fly me to the moon, baby. Look, this is, again, when you give away the power of your energy, and you pass it to people that hate you, they're going to bury you. And we're up over 100% since the election in the price of gasoline and oil. And we're long. I mean, look, I'm going to take advantage of it, which ties into natural gas, which natural gas is about 2.5 times higher than it was a year ago at this time. And, that is very unusual for this time of the year, but we'll stay long. Again, we're not going to argue. We'll be happy to be long. The dollar, we're still long dollars, and, the week itself was, relatively flat, but, we're making higher lows. Okay. And we're hovering with an opportunity to break out to the next level. And, copper was slightly lower for the week, and we're short. I think copper is going below 4, but certainly I could be wrong. We're short for now, and obviously we're on either side of a market. We don't care what market or what side, we're going to trade it the correct way, and that is with the price action and with the trend. Okay. And the bonds and notes, continue to try to push a little higher. It looks like they may be running a little bit out of steam. The notes certainly look a little bit weaker and are probably one solid down day away from reversing. But again, in the meantime, I'm not going to predict it. I think that the bond vigilantes, I think the bond traders are going to make another big push, okay, into trying to force the Federal Reserve to do something. Now, whether or not they'll be victorious there, I don't know. But I think they're going to give it the old, as they say, the old college try. Okay. And, in the grain markets, corn, soybeans, actually soybeans turned around, but corn got clobbered, and it's not a total surprise. Okay. In fact, we did get chopped up a little bit, being long, short. We're now long corn and soybeans and short wheat still. It's a very turbulent time, but remember, in markets when pricing gets higher, it gets more turbulent. Okay. And in the meats, we're still long cattle and we're still short hogs. Cattle was a little bit lower, but right at support. Again, it's not things that are surprising. All right. I mean, you should never be surprised. You should always be prepared. And hogs have pushed up a little bit, but we said that last Sunday. I said to you, look for a limit update or two during the week, and you're going to get it. And certainly we did. And in the softs, cotton, it continues to move higher. We're long. Coffee is lower, and we're short. Sugar we are now long and had a nice big up move for the week. And cocoa, we are short. And OJ, we are short. And everything is going fine. Again, we had a good solid week in the markets. But, again, it's about being consistent. And Bitcoin has been under some heat and some trouble, and the rest of the crypto space, but they seem to have found a level. And remember, we've looked to sell up. Remember, we look to be prepared for what markets are going to do, not be surprised when something does happen. We know these things are going to happen. So the crypto space looks solid, and we have a lot of grief that is going to be brought upon by the Fed, and they're trying to do what they can to prevent it. But I think that you can see that they're not going to be able to do so. And just a note, and this is why you always want to be careful. There's another scammer out there, okay, that is front-running trades. And, of course, it happens all the time. This is why it's so important that you understand what you're getting involved with, because you don't want to be feeding through a front. And all front-running is putting something in and then recommending it out to a big audience. So be careful, be ready. And, of course, this is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, July the 4th. Happy Independence Day. Happy the 4th. And we're going to step out for a break. We'll be back with my commentary right after the break. Well, everybody, as I always like to share with you, I really love the partners that I have. And that's, I'm a relationship guy, and I like to be involved with what I think are good partners that fit with our personality and our businesses. And one of them is Family Farms. Family Farms is really terrific with what their business that they run to try to help farmers. And, when we got together, it was like, we knew it was going to be a good fit, because all I want to do is help farmers defend and not get cheated. I want to help them defend their capital because they've got more important things to do. I have a lot of meetings, and I'm doing Zoom meetings while guys are driving their combines. So, in the meantime, they're great. And they have a big conference in July. I can't wait to go and see everybody and speak and play in the Calcutta, which, we have to help the charity out. But also our brokerage partner, CTG Group. Again, I have other brokers. In full disclosure, I've got many brokers. After 43 years, you would figure I'd have a few. But CTG is by far, for our letter of direction, for our members, the best there is, in my opinion. And of course, they're so good at I let them do all my accounts as well. But they've got great customer service. They've got great managed futures products. And if you want more information, you can reach out to them at info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba Trading. Bubba, excuse me. That is info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, your host, Todd Bubba Horse, and my commentary. Welcome back, everyone. What's going on? And, look, as you know, every week I got something to say. I got something to bitch about or something to say. And, I'm really tired of the America haters. I love America. Okay. As you can see. Okay. And I'm happy to be here. And I know that we have the greatest country in the world. But, if we continue to give up the freedoms that we earned, that our forefathers fought for, that we fought for, the history that has been built in this country, if we continue to eliminate it, which is what you can see happening, I think you're going to be in for a very rude awakening. And I can see our freedoms being chipped away each and every day with something else new that comes out or that gets done. And, you can say, hey, you're full of crap, Bubba, you don't know nothing. Well, I would say to you differently. I would say that if you look back and you see how much they can watch after you, how much they can track you, and what they are doing to keep an eye on you, and it's only getting worse. I think the control that government has over you, and as I've said before, I think we have to fight for our freedom. And don't be surprised if there's another revolution in this country, because we fought for our freedom, and our freedom is disappearing. Look at your taxes. Look at what's going on with many of the situations, from illegal immigration that is being welcomed in to try to change in the way that government runs. Okay. And, I think if we're not careful, we will end up in a very bad situation. Now, I won't be alive to see it, but I think that, I'm more worried about my members, my children, my grandchildren. I mean, I think you have to be very careful here. And on Independence Day, this has always been a great holiday, and it has a lot of meaning, and it should bring, the people that sacrificed to make this America country, and why we are giving it away piece by piece, and why we are giving up our freedoms piece by piece is beyond me. And this is where I think we as real Americans need to stand up and defend our right. And obviously the only ways you can do that is by voting and so on and so forth. But I don't think we can continue to tolerate the stripping down of American freedom. Hey, listen, that's my opinion. That's what I think. And I'm concerned, not for me, as I said, I'm concerned for you. In the meantime, happy Independence Day. Happy July 4th. As always, I thank you so much for being a part of the show. And we are in Las Vegas this week, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday with a Bubba's Day update. Now, we are going to reverse our Dow positions, I told you, tonight, or between tonight and Tuesday. That'll be up to the individual. But to all of you, enjoy the holiday. Celebrate your freedom, but remember what it's like to be totally free and not being dictated by a government that wants to strip you of everything. Happy July 4th, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I thank you so much. We'll see you later.